Hello and welcome to Short Story Scene. I am your host, the storyteller, and here we have a tale called Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Canto 26. Rejoice, O Florence, since thou art so great, that over sea and land thou beatest thine wings, and through a hill thy name is spread abroad. Among the thieves 5 citizens of thine, like these I found, whence shame comes unto me, and thou thereby to no great honor restest. But if when morn too near our dreams are true, feel shalt thou in a little time from now, that Prado and no other craves for thee. And if it now were, it were not too soon. Would that it were, seeing it needs must be. For 'twill aggravate me more than more I age, and went on our way and up along the stairs, and bores have made us to descend before, remounted by the conductor, and drew me, and following the solitary path among the rocks and ridges of the crag, and foot without the hand spread not at all. Then sorrowed I, and sorrow now again, when I direct my mind to what I saw, and more my genius curbed than I am wont, that is, may run not unless virtue guide it, so that if someone good star and better thing have given me good, and I may myself not grudge it, as many of the hind who on the hill rests at the time when he who lights the world, he countenance keeps least concealed from us. While as the fly gives place unto the net, seeth the glow worms down along the valley, perchance there where he plows and makes his vintage, with the flames and manifold resplendent, all was the 8th Bolgia, as I grew aware as soon as I was where the depth appeared, and such as he who with the bears avenged him, beheld Elijah's chariot at departing, what time the steeds to heaven erect uprose. For with his eye he could not follow it, so as he aught else than flame alone, even as the little cloud ascending upward. Thus each along the gorge of the entrenchment was moving, for not one reveals the thief, in every flame a sinner steals away. I stood upon the bridge uprisen to see, so that if I had seized not on a rock, down I had fallen without being pushed. And the leader who beheld me so attent exclaimed, within the fire's spirits are, each swathes himself with the wherewith he burns. My master, I replied, by hearing thee I am more sure, by I surmised already, and might be so, and already wished to ask thee, who is within the fire which comes so cleft, and at top it seems uprising from the pyre? Where was Icthiel with his brother's place? He answered me, within there are tormented Ulysses and Diomed, and thus together they unto vengeance run as unto wrath, and there within the flame do the lament in the ambush of the horse, which made the door whence issued forth the Romans' gentle seed. Therein the wept the craft, for which being dead, Diomed still deplores Achilles, and the pain of the Palladium there is born. If there within those sparks possesses the power to speak, I said, thee, master, much I pray and re-pray, and that the prayer would be worth 1,000. That thou make no denial of waiting unto the horn flame shall hither come, thou seest that with desire I lean towards it. And he to me, worthy is thy entreaty of much applause, and therefore I accept it. But take heed that thine tongue restrains itself. Leave me to speak, because I have conceived that which thou wishest for thy might disdain. Perchance, since they were Greeks, discourse of thine. When now that the flame have come unto that point, were it my leader, it seems time and place. After this fashion did I hear him speak. O ye who are too full within one fire, if I deserved of you while I was living, if I deserved you or much or little, when in the world I wrote the lofty verses, did not move on, but one of the more declare, with their being lost, he went away to die. Then the antique flame, the greater horn, murmuring began to wave itself about, even as the flame doth which the wind fatigues, where afterward the summit to and fro, moving as if it were the tongue that spake, and uttered forth the voice, and said, When I from the Cursey and departed, who concealed me more than the year there near unto Gita, and ever in Innis named it so. Nor fondness for my son, nor reverence for my old father, nor the due affection which joyous should have made Penelope, could overcome within me the desire I had to be experienced of the world, and of the vice and virtue of mankind. But I put forth on the high open sea, with one sole ship, and that the small company, but which I never had deserted been. Both of the shores I saw as far as Spain, far as Morocco and the Isle of Sardes, and others which had the sea bathes around about. I and my company were old and slow, and when that narrow passage we arrived, where Hercules his landmarks set as signals, that man no farther onward should venture, on the right hand behind me left I Seville, and then on the other already had left Ceuta. Our brothers who amid the 100,000 perils, I said, have come unto the west to this so inconsiderable vigil, which of the remaining of your senses still be ye unwilling to deny the knowledge. Following the sun of the unpeopled world, considered ye the seed from which ye sprang. Ye were not made to live like unto brutes, but for the pursuit of virtue and of knowledge. So eager did I render my companions with the brief exhortation of the voyage, and then I hardly could have held them back. And having turned our stern unto the morning, we were at the oars made their wings. For our mad flight, evermore gaining on the larboard side, already all the stars of the other pole in the night beheld the hours so very low, and it did not rise above the ocean floor, 5 times rekindled, and as many quenched, had been the splendor underneath the moon, since we had entered into the deep pass. When there appeared to us the mountain, dim from distance, it seemed to me so high that I had never any one beheld. Joyful were we, and soon it turned to weeping. For on the new land the whirlwind rose, and smote upon the fore part of the ship. 3 times it made her whirl with all the waters. The 4th time it made the stern uplift, and then the prow downward go, as pleased another, until the sea above us closed again. And that concludes our tale of Inferno by Dante Alighieri, Canto 26. If you enjoy this content and like to support it, please head on to Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/shortstoryscene. Thank you, Jack, for being a patron, and thank you all for listening, and see you next episode. Bye!